Okay, I'm gonna be working on this Sega CD. Never worked on a Sega CD before, so it should be interesting. It had the extension for the Model 1 Genesis, which is convenient for me. It's the only Genesis model I have. I don't think there's anything in here except just plastic. And I'll just keep the screw in here. It's one less to worry about. Immediately, the thing that I noticed and bothered me is all these stickers, these stickers are like flipped around from this one. I don't know what happened there. Good going, Sega, I guess. Oh, what is this? Oh, I guess, I don't know if those are screw holes on the inside or what. Now, as far as I'm aware, I think these are usually pretty full of electrolytic capacitors, SMD capacitors, that leak all over the place. And it says August 1993, so that's prime leaky capacitor days. Yeah, this just lifts off. That's nice. Not a whole lot. Just space for the Genesis to sit. A bit more straightforward of a design than the PC Engine CD and stuff. So, let's see here. I think, as far as I'm aware, it's basically its own system, pretty much. It has its own 68,000, and obviously its own power supply input. For now, I'm just going to assume the actual CD drive is okay. Just take a look at the power section. I think I saw some video about the original Sega CD. The big Model 1 for the Model 1 Genesis that was seemingly really short-lived. And apparently there's some common, I can't remember the specifics, but there's some common failure in the power section for that model that may or may not be present here. Move these out of the way, connector. There we go. go. That is very dense. Wow. I did not expect there to be this much in here. Wow. Well. Let's see. So, there's this, which I think is official. It's very peculiar. That. Yeah, it's just 2 logic chips. 74HC 74 and 04. Huh. So I think this is the main Sega CD ASIC. This is the 68,000. I am actually surprised that these are through-hole electrolytics. They're all Nichicon, seemingly. They all look pretty decent. There's a bit of, like, there's a little bit of solder and burn marks on this. Huh. I'm gonna try measuring this battery. Should work like this. 0.83 volts and steadily decreasing. That's funny. I wasn't expecting to get any reading out of that. Wow, interesting. So, apparently just simply doesn't power on. I guess I don't see anything particularly wrong. So, oh, there's a fuse, I think. Looks like a fuse. Let's test that. It says F, so it should be a fuse. And it seems to be blown. Okay, I will look up what that fuse is. Okay, so I think what I read was it is a 1.5, or not 1.5, 2.5 amp fuse. And I don't have like little resistor looking fuses like that, so I'll just try bodging a, you know, one of these fuses. Got a bunch of these, so I'm gonna just solder to the end of them and put it in. I think it's 12 volt, 2.5 amp. I don't know if fuses are really rated in watts though, so I don't know if those, you know, 120 or 250 volt fuses are fine. I don't know if, like, I don't know if the voltage rating is independent from the amperage rating when it comes to, like, physically smaller and larger fuses. But it should be fine. A fuse is a fuse. Alright. Should lift out, maybe? Alright, good. It is very funny to me how dense this is. Considering, like, just the fact that this doesn't function on its own at all. I think that I think this is the main voltage regulator, so I guess I can see if it's shorted or anything. Oh, there's a little beep. I think it was just a capacitor discharging. Oh. I thought I saw some resistance appear on the multimeter. Whoa. I don't know if that's normal for those, but I will just assume that it is fine and try replacing this fuse. Hopefully, my assumption is that the fuse blew because of the incorrect polarity barrel connector or power supply being used. But if there is something wrong, hopefully the fuse will blow and possibly the voltage regulator died. The resistance was kind of going all over the place, so I'm not really sure what was going on with that. But I've never measured a voltage regulator's resistance between legs before. I don't think I have, at least, so I don't exactly know what it should look like. Board is very full of flux. There's a lot of flux all over it. They pushed over the legs, so it's going to be a bit annoying to desolder this. And needless to say, I am not going to do this because I hate this, because it always risks pads getting pulled up when you're trying to bend the legs back up on these components. Should pull out one side, maybe. Yeah, there it goes. Can I get the other side? Not really. I'm gonna apply solder. There we go. Should come out now. Oh, it says it. It says 21/2A. I don't really know what that means, but I'm assuming. Oh, it's 2 1/2 amp. Okay. And I'll measure it one more time. It's in ohms, so it's not going to beep. 2.2 meg ohm. So yeah, this fuse definitely blew. Hopefully because of the incorrect polarity. which I need to identify. I haven't done that yet. So, just the easiest way to do that, probe to center pin, and then to the out, and yep, 0 ohms. It's center negative. So I need, but what probably, hopefully happened was a center positive power supply was used and blew the fuse. Like this one here, it is center positive. But if I find my little cable for inverting polarity, I can use that. But I don't know where it is, so I have to find it. Okay, I couldn't find it, so I'm just gonna use this dumb little like USB adapter that I made. I can switch the polarity and voltage. Just test it. Test that it's set to the right thing. Putting that in the probe in the middle, and it says -9 volts, so that's good. So I can use this to test it later. Just unplug it. So now what I'm going to do is these fuses, and I'm going to find the... This didn't come with 2.5 amps, which is, this isn't the first time I've needed 2.5. I'm just going to use 2 because the power supplies I use don't supply 2 amps anyway, so it should be fine to use a lower value. These ones should be 2 amp, yeah. And how I'm going to adapt them is I'm just going to solder wires to each end. I'll just use these offcuts of components that I have. I could try adding a fuse holder, because I have fuse holders, but I don't want to try to fit that into this space that's made for a tiny through-hole fuse. Yeah, I'll use this. This already has solder on it. These weren't the pliers I wanted, but they'll be fine. Okay. Got that in. I'll just solder it from this side. Because I don't know if this fuse is going to just blow, so there it is. Push it away from that so it doesn't short out. Yeah, should be good. I'll try plugging it in. If it blows, then I'm gonna have to investigate further. Let's see. Well, it's not blowing. I wonder if there's voltage on the voltage regulator, if that is a voltage regulator. It should be. It didn't have a marking that I recognized. Yep, that reads 9 volts. There's a transistor here. I think it's a transistor. I don't know what it does though. Yeah, because it has like emitter and a base marked on the board. Oh, I think this is a switch for the CD drive being closed. Let's measure this. That should be ground. Huh? 0 volts on that. And 0 volts on that. This might be shorted. Fuse didn't blow. What is this thing anyway? 2405. I don't know if that's just a 7805. Alright, I gotta follow these traces, because I don't know where the voltage is going to. It does go through a coil filter, which is not broken or anything. This diode it reads 9 volts. 9 volts on the fuse. Nine volts on the other side on the base of this. The emitter is connected to the fuse. The base, it might be just ground. Test point A, I don't know what that is. It might just be ground, I guess. But this has a pretty big pad that's not connected to ground, so I'm getting the feeling that this thing is dead. I don't know if it's a normal 7805 though. If it is, it's an easy replacement. But if it isn't, yeah, there's just no voltage. Maybe it doesn't. I'm thinking maybe it needs a power signal. From the Genesis. I don't really know how this works. I don't know how it, like, powers on from the Genesis being powered on, since it has its own power supply. I'm gonna try... try to follow... Is this pad? This is 0 volts. This pad says 0 volts. It has like this trace obfuscation layer, which makes it hard to see where the traces are going. It's really annoying when they do that. Yeah, that's just saying 9 volts like normal. Alright, well, I knew the fuse was definitely bad. I'm going to just try plugging this into my Genesis and see what happens. Never taken this out, and actually had a reason to. Okay, I found the cable for this. I think it should power on. I guess running signal. Or is it not in all the way? It might be the switches on the back. Okay, yep, I just had some of the switches set wrong. So, Genesis is on, works. But it loaded the EverDrive, which should theoretically it will load Sega CD, and it doesn't. Fuse didn't blow though. Alright. Guess I'll investigate this voltage regulator. No, I just realized I'm dumb. I didn't plug in the Sega CD. I unplugged it while I was like getting the Genesis set up. It's like barely doesn't reach. I'm gonna swap these. Just got that. This was plugged in. I found the cable that had the polarity inverter. So I need both of these. So use the one that's closer. So power it on. Hey, it works. Nice. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I need to make sure the CDs load. I don't know if they do. Also, I need to see if audio works. But yeah, it was just a blown fuse. I'm assuming it was the old owner using the wrong power supply. Or it's just someone testing it and using the wrong power supply. But yeah, the CD tray works. Now I gotta see if the CD drive works. Yeah, sound works. And the laser moved, so that's good. I just gotta burn a game. burnt a CD. Well, let's see what happens with this. No disc. What do you mean no disc? Uh-oh. Is it not spinning? Come here. I guess I'll screw in that ground pin. I don't think it'll matter much, but eh. Well, now there's no disc. Oops. No disc. Huh. What's up with that? Well, I guess I'll try plugging it into the, or putting it back in the case, the top half. I took it out so it would be easier to test, and I wouldn't have to put it all back together every time I wanted to test, but maybe there's something not making contact. So I'll do that. It's very interesting to me, taking out the Genesis like it's a cartridge. Come on. What? It does not want to go in. Well, it's like it's pushing it away. There we go. Just figure out how to put the thing back in. It's easy to figure out how to take it out, but not so much put it in. Okay. Now it's in. Put the CD in. Power. It doesn't have a window or anything, so the access light is flashing. I don't know if that's normal. Well, I guess it should be because it's closed. Huh. Ooh. That didn't sound good. Oh. The disk drive doesn't sound so good. It's like scratching up the disk a little bit. I don't know why the access light keeps flashing. Yeah, it just claims there's no disk. Let me look up this issue. Alright. Took this out. It seems like it's a mechanical issue, possibly, considering that it won't doesn't spin at all. I haven't lifted it up yet. Let's see. Unplug this again. A lot of connectors. I guess that's kind of typical for these, though. Cable management. Does this ferrite come out? Maybe if I pry it up. Oh, I see. There's a clip. On both sides. Great. Alright. That's not coming out. Oh, right. It's screwed in over here. Yeah, that didn't make a difference. The laser moves in both dimensions, but motor doesn't spin for some reason. Here we go. Well, I saw a tantalum, so I wonder if that could be an issue. Yeah, right here. Tantalum capacitor. That's probably the laser, I guess. Interesting. Whatever that is. So the head just wasn't, or the motor just wasn't spinning for some reason. Move the laser, that's fine. I don't know if the motor is bad, but it could just be bad connection. So it should, I think this is most of the motor controls. I wonder if the IC in here, that's like under this heatsink, is bad. Hope not. I'm gonna try running it again. Okay. I don't really care about audio right now, so I'm not going to plug that in. Let's see. So, like, visually the capacitors seem fine, but I would not put it past them to have failed. Oh, this actually might keep the leaf switch closed. That's sitting right there. Alright, power it on. I heard the laser, like, bump against the top. No, I didn't close it. Oh, this is where it is. Okay. Yeah, I heard the laser again. But the motor isn't spinning. And it's still checking disk. Oh! I don't know if that was me or... I'm gonna restart it. It should be probably turning the, or spinning the disk while it's checking it, right? Again, I can't, it moved a little bit, but I couldn't tell if that was me bumping it. That was me, obviously me bumping it. Oh! It moved. Why did it move? Oh, there it goes. Huh. I don't know what changed. That's weird. Huh. Interesting. I'll try that again. That's making me think that it is actually capacitors, because it doing this just intermittently could mean that maybe it's the connector. I don't think I was really touching anything, like, specifically. Oh, what the hell? That's so weird. Huh. Well, let me try plugging in the controller and pressing start. Yeah, like I feel like that is a capacitor thing. When it just doesn't start sometimes. Like doesn't start spinning sometimes. Oh, it loaded. Wasn't sure if it got stuck. I think it's doing its thing. I guess it's just working. Huh. I do want to do this over a couple times. Restart the process of loading the game, or like turn it off, turn it on. Oop, whoops. Let me try this again. I wonder if it wasn't capacitors and it was like the motor being gummed up from being idle for years. And I'll also try audio. Oops. Okay, plug the Genesis in. Loaded faster that time, seemingly. Huh. Yeah, it's just working now. I wonder if it could have been, like, capacitors warming up. Yeah, it slowed down, but I think it just wasn't loading anything until I pressed start game.
And what were you?
Let's keep loading it. Yeah, I guess it's just working. It's playing music? Yeah, I guess it's fine. I was getting worried about the capacitors because that seemed like something I definitely needed to do when I got my CDI, and it seemed like there was like specks of electrolyte, like a thin coating of electrolyte all over the PCB, and it was kind of gross. The capacitors visually looked fine, but it really seemed like they leaked everywhere. But this doesn't. It doesn't. Like there are like little specks, little dots all over the PCB on the CDI, and the CD drive was very much not working, and it like got marginally better and better as I replaced more and more capacitors, because I didn't really want to do a full recap on it, but I ended up basically needing to. But yeah, I think it's fine. I'm just gonna wash the top case. It's a little bit dirty. I'm not gonna bother with these scuffs because you're not gonna see that with the Genesis sitting in it. But this side, it's a bit dirty. On the inside too. Also want to try to adjust, like, I want to try to get this working better, because I guess it feels a bit better the more I use it, but not great. I wonder if some lubricant on the inside. I don't have, like, see, yeah, it just got jammed. Maybe if I take this apart, I can take a look, but I don't really want to record that. Yeah, seemingly the only issue, though the caps probably will become a real issue later in life for this thing. Only issue seemed to be that fuse, which I was a little worried that this might have gone short, and the fuse blew with overcurrent with everything getting 9 volts. Also, one last thing I want to do is test the battery, because apparently this is a rechargeable battery, and luckily it isn't nickel cadmium, which manufacturers love to use, and then it leaks all over the board and destroys them, but Sega didn't. So let's see. Let's probe this. Oh, it went up to 1.8, so I guess it's slowly charging it. Back to 3 volts. Maybe if I leave it running for a while, it will go back to 3 volts and be fully charged again. So I guess I'll let it run. The Genesis plugged into it, and check that battery later. But that's not the biggest. That's not really too big of a concern for me. I'm sure it'll be fine, considering it gave promising results. Alright, turn on. Good. It still works. So, try loading the CD. Yeah, it spun up again. Took a little while to start spinning, but it's probably fine. Oh, and it starts without pressing start. That's good. Alright, cool. So that'll be it for that. Just a fuse. And I guess if you see the disk drive not working at the start, maybe it's just... Oh, it's slowing down. Oh, why did it slow down? Uh-oh. Reset. Let's spun back up. I probably just let go of the switch by accident. Oop. Yeah, it was like playing audio totally fine and wasn't skipping. I was expecting it to behave similarly to my Saturn. I use these CDs with my Saturn as well. The Taiyuden branded, well, unbranded, but manufactured. And stuff seems to read them well, except the CDI. The CDI seem to have a hard time with these discs. Access light stopped flashing. I don't know what's going on. Well, I guess there'll be a part 2 if this isn't fully working, but it seems to be working well enough. It's just not good to tell it's working perfectly when I'm holding the momentary switch with my, it's just a leaf switch with my thumb, because it could disconnect. But, seems to be working fine. I guess there'll be a second part if it stops. So, I'll keep testing it. And let it just spin. Alright. That's all. Alright, well, I think I found what the issue might have been all along with that, and why it was so intermittent. On this connector, green wire broke out. I think it might have been making contact, and then allowing the drive to spin up. So, I'm just gonna, I guess I don't have like this size, well, I don't have a crimping tool, and I don't know if I have extra of this size contacts, so just gonna solder the wire into it, I guess. Alright. These are pretty thin wires, so not too surprising. I just wonder if this happened before I got it, or if it happened while I was working on it. Not sure if I'll be able to tell from the video. There it is. The wire is in there, so it's not like it wasn't crimped from factory. Definitely was. Just somehow broke. Okay. So now, hold on to it. Alright. It's taking so long, I'm gonna probably cut some of it. That'll have to do. Put it in. Nice. be surprised if I broke it because of the stupid RF shield. Alright. Plug it in and see if it works. Alright. Oops. Figure out the power supply. Alright. And go. Yay, it's spinning. I didn't put the disc on thing on, but I think that's all it was, just that broken wire. Nice. That should be it. Now I can be done with this. Alright. Good. That's all.